Welcome to today's 3 Minutes of Halacha. Today I want to address with you the question of when is the appropriate time to count Sefira Omer. There are two psukim in the Torah that help guide this discussion. The first is the pasuk that says, Sheva Shabbatot Mimot Tiyena, that there have to be 7 complete weeks of counting Sefira. From the idea of a complete week, we understand that we try to count the Sefira as early as possible at the beginning of a day. The Jewish day begins at night. And therefore, we try to count Sefira always at the beginning of the night. Of course, there's a dispute when the night begins. Is it sunset or when the stars come out? According to Tosfot, we're able to count Sefira after sunset, because nowadays the counting of Sefira Omer, according to the vast majority of decisors, is only midrabanan, only rabbinic in nature. Whereas the Ran is of the opinion that we have to wait until the stars come out. Typically, people try their best to wait until the stars come out, even if they rely on an earlier opinion, such as the Tzeit of the Grub, which is about 20 minutes after sunset to start counting the Sefira. Of course, the beginning of the Sefira period is determined by another pasuk, that one in Devarim, which says, Sheva Shavuot Tispor Lach, that we need to count 7 weeks, Me'achel Charmesh Be'kamat Hachel Tispor Shiva Shavuot, that from the time when the sickle is first put to the standing grain, from the time of the harvest, we start counting. That pasuk teaches us, of course, that we start counting the Sefira from the second night of Pesach, and that it's tied into the harvesting of the Omer offering that was offered on the second day of Pesach, which leads to the second disagreement. And that is, what happens if you didn't count Sefira at night? According to the Baal Halachot Gedolot, since the Omer harvest, if it didn't take place at night, could still be done during the day, therefore the counting of Sefira could still be done during the day. However, according to Rabbeinu Tam, the only time to be able to count Sefira is at night. This dispute leads to the case of what happens if a person forgot at night. Since there's a dispute as to whether or not you can still count in the day, we do count in the day, but we don't say a bracha. So the bracha is only said when we count at night and not during the day. The next question is how late into the day? And on that, there's a fascinating tshuva that was offered by Dayan Weiss in the Minchat Yitzchak. The Minchat Yitzchak in Chelek Tet, Siman Nun Aleph, discusses the case of a person who remembered very late, after Shkia, and in fact, all the way to the time where the Shkia of the Gaonim, the normal time, we end Shabbos would be over, but before the time of Rabbeinu Tam, which is 72 minutes after the time of sunset. Would he be allowed to still count then? Because according to at least one opinion, the Rabbeinu Tam opinion, it's still not Seit, and it's in this period of time of dusk. The Minchat Yitzchak rules that if it's that late, unless if the person always rules like Rabbeinu Tam in everything, and always the definition of night, it would be too late and he's missed his opportunity. However, if not only when it comes to the end of Shabbat, which is a question of D'oraita, but even when it comes to questions of the Rabbanan, of rabbinic law, that person would hold according to Rabbeinu Tam, then in that scenario, Weiss said that the person is allowed to count for the previous day because it's still not definitively night, and afterwards, he would be able to continue to count the following day, would be able to start counting again with a bracha. Interestingly, Rabbi Elijah Yosef adds one more clause, and that is if a person counted so late, from then on they should always make sure that they count after Tzeit HaKochavim. So when is the best time? Beginning of the night. If you forget at the beginning of the night, you can still count during the day, but without a bracha. But according to almost all scenarios, you need to be able to do that during the day before sunset.